Fellas, what's happening, fellas?
Yep.
Yo.
We here, we back again. Another Sunday. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with y'all, gentlemen? DJ Shane.
Man, just working, winning, loving life, staying light skinned. Just grinding, man. Shout out to Frederick Douglass. I DJ'd their prom last night. It was epic. One, it was cool to, life is full circle. Of course, that's my alma mater. Graduated from there in '97. So to come back and DJ the prom, the high school you went to, that's cool. That just, you know, gratifies purpose.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Brother Gail.
Man, hell no, don't come to me yet. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell the people what we're doing today, man.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
The prom is great. I'm glad, alma mater, that's a good look. I seen some video of it last night. That's a good look. But tell the people what we're doing today, man. Stop faking.
Man, today we got a photo shoot going on. The album is coming out. The album is done. The Hustle and Motivate album is done. We shooting a promo video today. And appreciate that, brother, because it's hard. Me, I be humble, but you got to celebrate your wins. So appreciate that, brother.
For
Man,
sure.
let me be holding out, be trying to be. Come on, man. Don't be humble now, baby. Let it ride. Tell people what the work is that pay off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, the album is done. It's coming out. I can't wait to present it to the people and just I hope it's my goal with this album is for it to be a motivational book for you to actually listen to on beat, on lyrics. I hope I told Miguel I hope I make everyone's workout playlist.
There you go.
So
There you go. My God. And this all is going to lead up to the Hustle and Motivate.
Yeah.
A conference. You want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, we got the conference coming up in August. My brother Miguel is on that. We got our other brother Jose. DJ is gonna be there out there, Hearst. So we know what the Hearst do. Our other brother Junior D is gonna be down there. We're gonna be looking at some properties. My vision is just to put like-minded people in the room together and we create a legacy of motivators, hustlers, just to create generational wealth. So I want to create an environment where people see what we're doing and they want to be attached to it and we change lives. So and we're gonna be in beautiful Cancun. So if you haven't registered, make sure you register. You can go on my IG page at DJ Shane 202. Click on my bio. There's a link that'll take you to the website. You can register. $100 locks you in. We hit up the travel agency, give you the packages and everything, and it's gonna be awesome.
There we
it's
go.
Gonna be, you won't be the same.
There we
you won't
go.
be the same.
Beautiful Cancun. You can't beat that. Beautiful
Absolutely.
Cancun. Hustle and Motivate. Brother Gail, what you got, man?
Hey, man, I'm cool and keeping it cool, calm, and collected. You know what I'm saying? Ain't much going. I'm not gonna say it ain't much, but it's ain't much. I'm chilling. Ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just getting ready for the conference that the wife and I got booked for marriage moments in June. You know what I'm saying? We just been planning out our next couple of episodes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all that's going on for real. And then, doing this day to day daddy thing. You know how that go.
Man, y'all killing it with the marriage moments, man.
Yeah. Y'all are, man. I listened to I believe it was the last one, and y'all are very transparent anyway. But your wife talked about the loss of her mom and stuff like that, and that right there. I don't want to know how it feels. I don't. I know we all got to take that journey and take that road, but just the pain that she spoke about, it was very transparent, and then the fact that she can still get through every day, laughing, smiling, and even if it's putting on face, that's very powerful though, to not stay stagnant and to move forward, but just trying her very best. I give it up to her.
But that's what like this last episode we did. It wasn't just about the loss of it. It was what people that's grieving, what they want to say but can't say because if they say it for real, they other people gonna look at them like, well, damn, you know what I mean? I was just trying to help you out or whatever. Because the thing is, people generally don't know how to deal with people that's grieving. Like you don't know what to say out your mouth. You don't know, like it's awkward, it's uncomfortable because you just don't know what this. You don't know how to move with that, and the basic things to say actually irritates people. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. Why is it gonna be okay? It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get easier. Says who? You know what I'm saying? Like it's things like that, and you just don't understand. Like when you catch a situation where you ask somebody, how you doing, and they blow up on you. They're not blowing up on you just because you the first. You're the 10th person that asked them that, and it's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you wouldn't know it. But then once they blow up on you, you looking at it like, man, you might need to get some help, and I don't need to get no help. It's just that, like, for like real talk, like for Mother's Day, she shut down on Mother's Day. She aborted Mother's Day. I don't want to do Mother's Day, whatever. Like, and you got every right to do that, and can't nobody tell you you wrong. Like if that's what you want, you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to have no parts of it. That's realistic. And the thing was, had she decided to do the regular Mother's Day like everybody say she should have, the day probably would have been worse for her. She probably would have had a whole lot more crying moments and breakdowns and been frustrated and all that other stuff. But instead, she shut down. Our kids went over to family house and we just sat in here and chilled out, watched movies, and she was good. You know what I'm saying? That's what was good for her. And that's okay. But people don't know. Sometimes you won't do the things that's okay for you because of what you worried about other people thinking. And then on the same token, the individual trying to help out, the support person or people, so to speak, they worried about what the person grieving gonna think about them if they don't do this or they don't say this or whatever. So they stay away. But that's not what it is. Unfortunately, you have to get you gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable around a person that's grieving. That's just what it is. Like it's gonna make you feel a certain kind of way, and you just do what they need for you. You know what you need in them. You know what I'm saying? Like the cliche stuff to say to some, like, other than your condolences, leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be. It's okay. Like somebody might not seen you in a long time, and then they walk up to you, how you doing? And you be like, oh, I'm good. Then they want to hit you with the no. How are you really doing? Well, I was doing good until you asked me that shit. Now I'm thinking about what I didn't want to think about. Yeah. So I found this book. It's okay to not be okay. Because I was trying to figure out the best way for me as a husband to, support her in this time and things like that, because it's just like when she have these moments and I'm sitting there like, I don't know what to say, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. But I found that book, and the book been fire. It's been learning experience for both of us. We promoted the book heavy on that last episode, and then anybody that's going through it, I advise them to get this book because it'll help people it talks about the author of it talks about how really like them 5 steps of grief. It's some bullshit. She talk about it. She's a therapist, right? Psychotherapist and everything. She talks about how she's bullshit. Like really, it's just a roadmap for people to feel comfort knowing that it's an end to it. But it's really not an end. So like you can be grieving the loss of somebody.
Well, a very long time.
Very, very long time. The thing
30, 40 years, man.
Like the last thing I said is like, think about it like this. You would never think about this. Say you've been in a grocery store, right? And you come up on a shopping cart in the middle of the aisle filled up with stuff. Naturally, you might think that might be one of the baskets that, they're using to put stuff away because they got so much stuff in there, right? Well, what it really could have been was somebody was in there grocery shopping and they had a whole live moment in there while they was grocery shopping and they had to get out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like you never think about that. It's the little things that'll set you off and you wouldn't know what set you off. You know what I'm saying? Like wifey got a box of cereal that her mama had, and she keep it. And I'm like, you keep that box long? I was like, you threw the cereal out though, right? So I was like, yeah. So she got rid of the cereal, but that box, because of what she did with it, she tried one of them little TikTok tricks to be able to close the box back or whatever, and it worked. So she kept that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can keep that as long as you need to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do nothing until you ready, and when you ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's just what it is. So we wanted to, especially now at the age that we are, like we at the time, like we all in our, we 40s, late 30s. We at the point now where like we gonna start losing people.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's already started to happen, and it's
here. So
yeah. I completely agree with you, Miguel, and you going to go get some support for you, so you know how to support your wife. You know, when my dad lost his wife last June, and you know, I randomly get these calls, and these calls he'll apologize. He'll apologize for just break down crying, and he'll say, you know, Frank, it's just been one of them days. I needed to hear your voice. I just, you know, I miss her. I miss her a lot. I miss her a lot. I don't know what's going on. I'm just alone over here. My world is different, you know. So but you know there is a difference between losing maybe your mother and your parents and your wife, but a loss is a loss, especially when when that person was a staple
Yeah.
in your life, you know. And I had to really do the exact same thing, except for I went to go talk to some people, Miguel. I went to go talk to some guys um who were roughly about my dad's age that lost their wife.
Mm.
And I said, yo, how would you want to be supported? You know, what did you need? Because a couple of the guys actually got remarried,
Mm.
you know, they're later on in life, but you know, they kind of gave me some tips. They're like, yo, just be there.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. Is for the most part, be there. If he call you and you don't, you know, pick up the call him back, check on him.
Mhm.
You know, it's simple shit. Like just stop through every once in a while just to make sure that he out there cutting the grass. You know, just
Mhm.
you know, just it's simple things like make sure you see his grandkids. You know, a little more than normal. You know, so
Mhm.
but definitely shout out that book one more time, Miguel.
It's called "It's Okay That You're Not Okay," and it's by Megan Devine.
Megan Devine. It's okay that you're not okay by Megan Devine. Hey, that's what's up, yo.
If Pops read, man, I'm trying to tell you, give him the book, and it's not a book you need to read cover to cover. You can spot read the junk, you know what I'm saying? Like she breaks it down in so many ways, you know what I'm saying? And it's in the different ways to look at things and see things, because that's the best thing you can ask is like, what can I do to support you? Because like you said, we experience grief every day, okay? Because all grief is the loss of something or someone, right? So what your job, your whatever, is just the magnitudes of it is different. Like I told, like I don't know what it feels like to lose my parent. I know what it feels like to lose my grandmother, my grandfather, other people who raised me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what it's like to lose my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. Like you said, it's different. The only thing is that you can relate. Like the only thing that I knew that I could relate with my wife is the fact that I know that when my grandmother passed away, I got tired of everybody walking up to me saying it's gonna be okay. I got tired of everybody walking up to me saying she in heaven looking down on me. I know all that. I don't need to hear that 30 times. Like I don't need to hear that. That's not what I need. So I got myself out of that situation. Like I was like, Mom, I need to take the car. I need to leave here. I can't be around all these people. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool. And it's the same thing. And that's how would you know, me and Kim talk about all the time. And we just felt it was necessary for that episode to happen because uh like I said, it's just the time that we in right now. You know what I'm saying? Sad to say, but it's like that. And we need to have tools. We need to have these things. And we needed, it was important to have a situation where people like we wanted to be the voice of the individual grieving that they don't get to say the stuff that they want to say. Is that
Yeah. Bet. Shout out to Miss Kim. Shout out to you, Miguel, for pushing forward and doing a good job and supporting your wife through all that, man. And shout out for that resource too. Um, as far as me, man, I've been all right, man. I've been busy. My main objective has been like this crucial time between graduation for my oldest boy and getting him off to college. And
Mhm.
so I've been totally in doubts with that. You know, I've never sent a kid to college. I've never
Yeah.
used, you know, scholarship funds from somebody else to pay for somebody else's school. So, you know, just trying to check all my boxes and make sure that he understands, one, because we don't have long left, that he walks out of the house with all the tools that he needs too. You know, just simple shit like, hey, bro, let's go to the grocery store together.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to grocery shop for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you need to stay to the outer bounds of the grocery store. That's where your Whole Foods are, things of that nature. Because I made that mistake, and when I left living off a cup of noodles,
Mhm.
man, that shit didn't end well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that
well,
shit.
I can tell you this, my dude. Unless you gonna supply him with some good funds, that Whole Food joint in college, that's some bullshit. My chain, I'm trying to tell you, like you must gonna keep that commissary loaded up, because first of all, kids don't shop like that, and I don't care what they not unless you've been training him to eat like that. That ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna look for the quick hits. You know what I'm saying?
So that is one thing that we have done throughout, his life, is to try to train him to eat. Well, it may not look like it with my waist size, but we definitely making spelt bread using, we've been through the Dr. Sebi stuff, and and trying to drill those things into our children. So he doesn't do the ketchups, he doesn't do the ice creams, he doesn't do, he might get him an oatmeal pie, this, there, and the other, but he's not a super sweet tooth kind of guy. He really loves a hearty meal. He understands that because he's an athlete too. But the great thing about it is that he's being paid to go to school too. So he'll receive funds monthly, and we'll have to make sure that he spend those funds accordingly, so that he shop right for it. Start this practice now, because trying to give him a game plan. And if he gets off the game plan and goes his own way, that's cool. But giving him something to shoot towards is work.
Yeah,
Is
that's
definitely
good that y'all been showing them. That's definitely good y'all been showing them.
Man, it's definitely work. Fellas, I'm gonna be up at I've been invited to speak at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, September the 14th.
Okay.
They'll be highlighting my book.
Congrats.
Appreciate you, man. They'll be highlighting the book. I'll be up there with another author and a therapist. And it's all on relationship. And this portion here is for boys and their moms. Actually.
Yeah.
Someone just ordered 73 copies of my book.
Wow. Oh, that's fire. That's right.
73 copies of my book.
So you drop a bomb for that.
Man, I got to get on time with that. And so I got invited up there to speak. And so I'm happy. I'm surprised and I'm honored, that this lady even thought enough of my content and my perspective to kind of, shoot that.
Yeah. And shoot, man, before little man go, y'all should do just you and him do a weekend trip.
Yeah, so that is the goal. That is the goal that's always been a goal, man, for me to like travel just with him. Like we would do little trails inside the park and things like that. We took a trip to go see a college together and all that good stuff. But it's really like during these 4 years, we're really gonna step out there along with my other little man, and really just have some male time, especially since he's older. The conversations are changing. His comfort level with me is I love to see him relax around me, man. I love it, man. He's so kids gonna have that different persona around their parents sometimes than they will around their friends. But I tell them, I said, look, bro, I done been through your cell phone. No, I see what's happening, man. I know you can't fool me. So you might as well chill out, bro. You might as well chill out and relax. And I'm not a drill sergeant. I'm your father, yo. I'm here to provide insight and direction. I'm not your commanding officer, man. You got to answer to God and yourself now, So that's where we are. That's what I've been up to lately, man.
Dope.
But outside of that, a lot has happened between the last time we all met. For instance, Kevin Samuels passed away, and granted, we didn't talk much about Kevin Samuels on the Root Cause podcast, and I've never heard any of you guys have much of an opinion on Kevin Samuels. But there was I must say he must have some major influence. New York Times had a thing on him.
Yeah.
So his influence must have been very, very high. And as we talk about people transitioning this morning, that brother transitioned, what was it, day after Mother's Day or something like that? Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
And you had a lot of people come on out and really crucify him for his perspective and crucify him for the things that he said, and whether he was right or wrong, I don't think that they cared too much. They just cared about his delivery.
Right.
So what do y'all think about that?
I think, all right, like you said, we ain't really never talked too much about it. Type, what I'm saying? Like what he did is what he did. But at the same time, like, I mean, his delivery was off the chain. You know what I'm saying? Like it was straightforward to it. And there was a lot of, I seen one interview that he did where I found out that he had stage, I think like stage 3 cancer. He had something.
Yeah, cancer. Yeah,
And so that was one of the reasons why, like, he ain't cut no cars while his delivery was where it was, because hey, look, I'm living my life. I'm gonna say my truth. I'm gonna say whatever, you know what I'm saying? my thing was just people got on there crucifying this brother for what he was saying. Y'all are the one. Y'all are calling him and asking these questions.
Yeah.
I can't understand that. Like y'all, and then this the thing. Y'all know how he's going to respond and how. So you call thinking that you're gonna get it a different way depending on what you asking him. No, you're gonna get it the same way every other chick that call him asking a question. You're gonna get it the same way that any dude call it asking a question. Like unless it made sense to him and y'all ideals was the same, like it came off a certain way. So how like don't crucify him now for what he did and he can't even defend himself. Like, and I don't even know that he would defend himself. This the funny thing. People talk, you know what I'm saying, people had their opinions about him, right? But then now that he gone, no, he's not here to defend himself or speak up for himself or none of that stuff or get on his own platform and say what. Now it's like people were really going in and blasting him. Why when he's passed away? Like I don't know, I didn't hear it, but I heard something about like Pastor Jamal Bryant said some slick stuff about him.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. That was crazy.
I didn't even. Did you see what he said? I didn't hear what he said.
So it was a snippet, and what he was saying was he was trying to raise the vibration and the self-esteem of ladies, and he was saying that basically, how dare you be called a leftover just because you haven't had a child at 33 or 38 years old, when don't listen to a man call you a leftover when he needs a GoFundMe account for his funeral. So basically he was shooting shots. And he kind of, I think what he said, I don't think it was the time for that and the place for that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're supposed to be a pastor and you want to, talk about unity, but this guy has been full of drama himself too.
I was about to say Jamal Bryant has no room for
any kind of thing crucified. Now, don't get me wrong, he's very talented. He's a very talented brother, and he's talented just like Kevin Samuels was. See, I saw Kevin Samuels as the 40th law of power for a relationship. In the 40th law of power, it says things like, don't ever don't ever show your boss or your manager that you're smarter than them. Things of that nature. He talked about getting the high value man and this thing. He talked about today's societal norms as far as money goes. He rarely spoke of relationship on the side of spirituality. It was more of like what can I do for you and what can you do for me kind of thing. Right. And so, but I don't think his perspective was wrong. I just think that it was for a certain vibration.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like a fan of his, or I never really checked him out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't see any value of, of his content. But, one thing, regardless, the man passed.
Yeah.
So he's somebody's son.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He may have been, I don't know if he had kids or not, but
he had a daughter.
Yeah. He's somebody's father. So, when someone passes, that's never a good time to now take shots at them. You know what I'm saying? But it'll just show you that, people will, regardless of whether you're here or not, people are always going to have something to say about you. So at the end of the day, live your truth. And, like Miguel said, it will be crazy. Like the same women, who didn't like what he said, they were tuning in
every week.
I just looked at him more like a shock jock.
Yeah. I will say this: at my current age now, when I hear about someone dying, it don't. I mean, I might not necessarily know them or know a lot about them, but I feel kind of bad. I feel bad. I'm like, damn, and granted, Kevin Samuels wasn't a guy that we all paid a whole lot of attention to, but my wife listened to him, and that was a reason for me to go and check him out. Because what is she absorbing from his content? So let me see what even I need to counter, or let me see what I can gain and learn.
Right.
So there were times that I would most of them I end up falling asleep, but I try. Okay, so what's she talking about? Okay, so let me go on there and see what he's saying. So yeah, but I felt bad like when I first seen it, oh damn, because you feel like especially when you have an older G man, it's like they say when the old man dies, the library burns down. You know, when we lose grown men, when we lose older men and older women, Slim, that's experience.
Yeah.
That's experience that our community needs. You know, whether somebody agrees with the way that they said it, or got the message delivered, we still needed the message.
Right.
You know, and today everybody has to come to the table clean. It seems like if they have a message, and I don't think that that's right.
Yeah.
You know, that you got to come to the table with all your shit together in order for you to say your piece.
Yeah.
And maybe your piece may be able to help out somebody else's piece. I think that everybody comes to the table with their piece, and whether you're flawed or not, what can we learn from it?
Yeah.
So,
And like it's like real like you said, I didn't watch them. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just whatever little snippets that might have flashed up on social media, I might have listened to, and I gotta tell you, like it's like you said, it's things that you can agree with him, and then there's things that you don't agree with. You take what you want, you get rid of what you want. But you know, some of the females would call with these ridiculous situations, and he kept it 1,000 with them. He kept it 1,000 with them. Like, you're not gonna get that. Like, that's not Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going. You don't even see yourself in a certain light. What makes you think you're gonna attract this thing? You don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a lot of things he said. That whole leftover thing. Like my wife said to me, like, that's a shitty thing to say. She was like, but if you don't believe you leftovers, then why is that eating at you so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because part of what he said fit your description, because you 33 and you're a single, mom or whatever, then, but if not, then keep it moving. Like and I think females were trying to do with him what females typically do with men. I can change him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
man. I think the reason why a majority of them chicks was tuning into him like that and wanted to get on his line and talk with him was because they felt, I think that most of them thought that they could get in there and change his mind and his perspective on it and what he was saying, and he would just blow their spot up.
Hey, Miguel, I want you to hold that. Please hold that and don't lose that, because we need to come back to that, bro. We need to come back to that. Fellas, Dave Chappelle ran up on stage. Somebody ran up on him, and they lumped him up and put him in the back of the ambulance.
Really lumped him up.
Yeah, they stomped the old boy out.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. They what I mean, you could tell probably something was mentally wrong with him, because he said that gentrification was going on in his grandmother's neighborhood, so that's why he ran up on stage. He had a fake gun but a real knife, and so he only got a misdemeanor assault, because in California, if you don't use a deadly weapon, then it's a misdemeanor assault. So he got a misdemeanor assault, and I believe that they said Dave Chappelle was not going to file a felony charges.
I thought I saw they pressed, was pushing the issue to press charges.
The last I read, he wanted to talk to him. He wanted to talk to him, but I think his community is pushing him to press charges, because you'll get a lot of copycats that'll come and do that.
Not even that. I just hate when we give people the privilege that we would never be given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. So if it were you or I, we'd be up underneath the jail.
Yeah.
So, but people got to understand that, just because Will Smith went up on stage and didn't, go to jail and all that stuff, don't mean that, And I think that's what you're saying. It's like we need to extend and make everything.
But that's the same thing. Like, Will Smith only didn't catch what he caught because Chris Rock didn't press charges. You see what I'm saying? He didn't do it. And he, like, the feds was out, they was right there waiting and ready. All he had to do was say, yes, I'm pressing charges, and they would have went right up there up front and took Will out of there. That was with the interview with old boy, my old boy that produced the whole jump that year. He said it. He was standing right there with Chris Rock, and they was talking to him, and Chris kept saying, no. He said that he told Chris, he's like, just hear what they have to say what your options is. And they told him, if you want to press charges, we will go get him right now. Right here, right now. And he said no, that he didn't want to do it. So it's just a matter of, like you said, like Shane was saying, what we extend to people versus what we don't. Like it's a level of compassion with us, it's a level of understanding, and all these different things that kind of go into it, or why we don't move in a certain way. Like I think a lot of people could look at it like, yeah, Dave Chappelle, now he ain't gonna press charges. He got his ass whooped. It was like what 10 or 12 dudes back there whooping up on my man.
Hey, I think they put the foot on them too.
My man mom was in a whole. They put the work on him. So I'm like, Dave, like, nah, I don't need to press charges. They already put the charges on him. He good. I think I bet he won't do that shit again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it was funny because in the same thing, Chris Rock came up there and was like, was that Will Smith?
Yeah, man. Chris was foul for that. He ain't gonna let that shit go.
He can do that. So it's hey, look, man. I think it was bad, but it was good in the sense that because that was a big thing that the comedian community was talking about, was like, you doing that, you letting people know that they think that they can walk up on stage in the middle of we performance and do something like that just because you don't like what I'm saying. Well, Dave Chappelle's situation shows like, you walk up here if you want. I might not, but my folks got something for that ass. Go ahead, think. And now more comedians will go to the stage now, where at one point they weren't worried about certain things. Now it's like, all right, I got a show tonight, tomorrow night. I need y'all with me just in case.
Yeah. So we got to rock out of here real soon. But I want to hit on two more points. One, Miguel, real quick. I'm gonna throw something up on screen, man. You gave us this article, and you got to get into it, man. What the hell was that?
I don't know, because I couldn't. When I found it, I was like, what in the hell is this madness? Right. And I didn't even, matter of fact, I found it at work. So I had never got a chance to go and actually look it up. But my dude, come on, man. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, though. It's like we can just on the surface level, we gonna call it what we see it. Everybody, we all on here and we all got our A1, best good man, everything. It ain't nothing in me that will make me want to cuddle up with my nigga like this.
And I don't know why they call them straight men.
I'm sorry, that's not a straight man. That's not a straight man.
Yeah, I mean, that looked more like a NASCAR road. Ain't nothing straight about that road right there. But as we see, who is in the picture?
Yeah, great boys.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. I just had to. I said, man, what we gotta let Miguel touch that.
They would like this is how the world we in now are watering down men,
masculinity
and everything. Like, this is what you put up, and you say that that's okay. It's okay. Like, listen. I'm sorry. It's one thing for us. Look how drastic that is. We just getting to a point in time where we saying, well, now all the statistics and everything coming out are showing that why men have a high rate of death is because of the things that we don't talk about, that we hold in and all that other stuff, because that's how we were taught growing up. Like, you a man, you suck it up, you do this and do that. This is how you handle all it. Like, that's what we was taught, right? So we just get into a space where it's like, okay, like, it's healthy for you to talk and talk out your problems and communicate and all of those things, right? That's good. We just getting to that point, and men are actually starting to do it. And this is what y'all took us from just being okay with talking to somebody outside of our close friends or family to you want me to sit on the couch bond up with my so-called best friend?
Yeah.
Nah, Joe, that's not it. Hey, Sim, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually a couple. If they not best friends and them two dudes is actually a couple, they took their own little picture and they posted it somewhere, and then somebody snatched that picture off there, throw it up, and then put that headline on it. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to do that just to push that agenda of downgrading men in the role that we are in and who we are and everything. Like, that's not. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. What does that?
Creating these narratives.
Ridiculous, bro. Like, I'm not. I can hey, if I'm going through some trial and tribulation, I can share that with you. I can even break down and cry for you while you sitting right over there on that couch. You know what I'm saying? And real talk, if it's a situation, might be a certain situation where you come sit next to me, Joe, you put your hand on my shoulder, and you like, bro, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with a hug. Yeah.
For us to be on the couch together, like, man, she left me and it ain't no good. No, nigga, we not doing that, man. I'm like, hey, man, get up off me. We got a whole nother problem. You want to do that? We not.
Y'all got on a weighted blanket.
Remember was in Money Talks,
yeah,
and Faison Love, like he grabbed back on, man.
Man, yeah. So like I said, a lot has gone on since we last talked. But I had to hit that. And Miguel, you said agenda, right? Yeah. So is it safe to say that we all seen the last Marvel joint that just came out with Doctor Strange?
I didn't see the
I haven't seen Doctor Strange.
Well, then we will have a Doctor Strange episode later then.
Okay.
All right. So we're not going to talk about it now, but there's definitely an agenda. And from my viewpoint, I'm going to call it bullshit, but we're not talking about that now. Let's move on. This episode I'm calling CELLMATE versus SOULMATE.
Mm-hmm.
All right. CELLMATE versus SOULMATE. And I want to talk about CELLMATE versus SOULMATE because this is a conversation that was on another radio show, and they said go ahead and continue it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also found an article about Will and Jada heading towards the divorce, and this is not a show based off of controversy because we really are here. We're solution based,
mm-hmm.
right? And so where a lot of people like to watch the destruction of others, it really is about you. Mm-hmm. It's really about me. It's really about the things that we can relate to these other people that we look at, like the Johnny Depp and his wife right here in Virginia, that trial where the wife is shitting on the bed and saying that she was smacking him for fun. You got what's the girl from DC who dated the dude from Cali? Her mom a stripper. What's her name?
Black China.
Black China. She pulled out a gun on her baby father, talking about that was for fun. She's smacking him for fun and stuff like that. And these women, they get off on that shit. Like they don't go to jail and all that stuff. And so the ultimate thing about the Johnny Depp thing was that he had a recording saying that go ahead, call the police. Nobody will believe you because you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should throw that bitch under the jail.
Yeah.
And so it was so much. I ain't see all of it, but it was just so much foolery and she put her acting skills together on this joke, boy, man. And even when they show him like laughing at her sometimes, like this bitch is crazy, so
yeah.
And I haven't, I don't really know the ins and out. I just seen a couple times, like Johnny Depp on the stand, just his demeanor while he's on the stand. He just looking like, man, let's just get this over with.
Let's get this over with, man.
Because he lost out on a lot of money.
Yeah,
he lost out, man. I'm talking about they took his endorsements away. They might have took down the Pirates of Caribbean. He had a couple of movies that were due to be out now, but they like put him on hold. Just like Will Smith got a couple movies that they put him on hold. So I mean, this dude losing out on money for an accusation that his woman is saying no one's going to believe you because you're a man. Yeah, I'm right here smacking the shit out you. Cut his finger. Oh, because she threw something at him, like a glass bottle or some shit at him. You know what I'm saying? So he at home going through abuse. But here we got CELLMATE versus SOULMATE. Is Jada and Will cellmates or soulmates? Are you and your woman cellmates or soulmates? What's the difference between a cellmate and a soulmate? Is every cellmate a potential soulmate in the making, right? The universe, well, scientists will say that the universe is very well put together. They refuse to mention God at all. They'll say we live in a perfect put together universe. If one thing was off, we could not exist, right? And so they're saying that all things are designed for its purpose for us to exist here now. What are y'all definitions of soulmates versus cellmates?
I'm about to say, you tell me. I don't even know what are they when comparing the two. what are they saying? What makes you?
Yeah, I thought Frank was talking about the old boy,
Oh yeah,
the convict that left with the correctional officer lady. You know,
and she
one,
died, right?
yeah, one, I want to know what kind of game he said to this woman. She sold her house, she cashed out 90,000, I guess, of her savings and risked it all for this man. Like he had to have some game.
Man, I would tell you, man, you'll be surprised of the women that
Hey,
deal with guys that's lost. I got a cousin who got married in jail. He's still with her today. He out now,
Yeah.
but man, he married her, and when he was in prison, not jail, but prison. You know what I'm saying. You will be
Wow.
surprised at
I mean,
the amount of
how do
women.
you even, I mean, what pickup line can you use while you in jail?
You
You
know what?
know?
Persistence. They're persistent, and it's a lot of time persistence overwins a lot of shit. If you just persist,
and,
at,
hey, like I tell you, he got time. My man, he got time. I
yeah,
say this all the time. You ain't gotta have a game if you got time, dude.
nah,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
I'm saying because hey, just because you still you might be locked up, but if you was just a smooth talking dudes with females anyway, you still gonna be slick with your tongue in the spot. You know what I'm saying? And, I see you every day, at least 5 days a week. I see you, and I know hey, you come past my cell at the same time. And unlike some of the rest of these nasty ass niggas, they being disrespectful. I'm still just, what's up, Miss Lady? How you doing today? You know, you still doing your thing. Eventually, you wear that joint down. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like you said, my man, she cashed out all that, did all that. Like, like, what was he saying? What was he able to put on the table to make her cash out like that?
He kept playing them songs by them niggas. I'll make love to you.
I
Y'all wash
mean,
the clothes. I'll clean the dishes. Well, that's all you got to do when you get out, because you ain't got nothing else to do.
yeah, I mean, he can't pick you up and go on a date. I mean, you know, he locked up. Like, I mean, it just it just, um, just the drug of love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Some people will risk everything just for the possibility to
Mhm.
be in love with somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and she
saying?
probably was stigmatized too, because if he hitting her off in the jail,
I would
you
not
know,
heard that in jail.
on on her shift,
Uh,
she work 11 to 7 every day,
Mm.
5 days a week. And he get off. He get to get out and do laundry. So he hitting her off. I
Mm.
mean, she probably was
Hey,
a little
I
stigmatized.
guess orange was the new black for
Oh,
her. Goodness.
but back to that though. But
so what are they saying is the what would determine? I guess if you just reading in the lines like a cellmate or a soulmate, like cellmate, you don't choose them, right? They stick you. You got the next available bunk, and you get stuck in there with somebody, and that's who you in there with. And they two niggas could end up killing. Those two people could end up killing each other in there, or I mean, they might get along good. I mean, so and then versus your soulmate, you choose them and you hope that man. I don't know, like
I think you want to, I think it's up for however you say it is. We all have different perspectives, but I wanted to put it in the lane of like intimate relationship. And it don't
Mhm.
have to necessarily be intimate relationship between a man and a woman, or just partners like they could be your homeboy, it could be your homegirl, or whatever it is. But just a cellmate. I think a cellmate is someone in intimate relationship that's always looking to fix you,
Mm.
that's always finding a problem with you. And what it does is it deflects the work that they need to do in themselves, really.
Okay.
These are your people that are always looking for a challenge, and it's based off of a success rate on what the challenge is. Can we work together? Can we do this? Can we do that? Versus what's the real meaning of relationship, right? And so that's my perspective on cellmate versus soulmate. Like, you can be in a house married to your woman for 20 years. Is that your cellmate, or is she your cellmate? Are y'all just
Yeah. And I mean,
cohabitating or what?
yeah, because I guess I can see what you're saying as far as like the cellmate, because as a cellmate, there may not be any connection, but you're doing a lot of routine stuff together.
Yeah.
You're waking up at the same time, you're
Mhm.
eating at the same time,
Yeah.
you're going to sleep around the same time, you're in the same facility. But are you all really connecting?
Yeah.
And with a cellmate, you're confined to that person for whatever your sentence is,
Mhm.
whether it's 5, 10 years or life.
Mhm.
To me, a soulmate would be, someone where you all love beyond the routine,
Mhm.
where I guess if we talking in the confines of relationships of marriage, marriage can teach you a lot.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot about yourself, about how you handle so many things, how you handle conflict, how you handle conflict resolutions.
Mhm.
Can you take criticism, accountability? Marriage is one of them things that it teach you about all of that,
Yeah.
and I think you actually, a lot of times when we, even get with someone that we marry,
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest thing I probably learned in marriage is um what love looks like for me,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
what environment I love the best in,
Mhm.
and how to create that. I
Mhm.
think a lot of times we don't look at that. We just look at this person like, oh, they got my back. I'm attracted to them. Let's get married.
Yeah.
But not figuring out like, does this person, am I the best version of myself around this
Person.
person?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do
Yeah.
do they speak to a part of me that I can't speak to myself?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we don't look in depth to that, but marriage can teach you that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I think the cellmate part comes to where sometimes you just got to realize when you're, that may not be the one for you.
Mhm.
But I think sometimes we're so focused on not getting divorced that we stay confined in that and not be like, you know what? And just having those honest conversations with each other, like, hey, you know what? This really ain't working out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to hate you, you know, to divorce you. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, we've tried this, it's not working. Like, you know, we don't, and I think sometimes people so focus so much on not getting divorced
Mhm.
that they stay with someone that's really not healthy for them,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. I would say this that I think, man, that's an excellent perspective, yo. That's an excellent hell of a perspective. UCLA has a study out that states that opposites don't attract.
Mhm.
Whether people say that all the time, yeah, opposites attract. Opposites don't.
Yeah.
It's actually people who have like mindsets attract. You
Mhm.
know, I've also read that if you look at it, I've heard it put like this, and it makes a lot of sense. Jupiter, Jupiter is the vacuum for our galaxy here, right?
Mhm.
Our solar system. So in 1994, there was the Shoemaker comet, right? And the Shoemaker comet broke up and really was supposed to kill everybody on Earth.
Mm.
But Jupiter is the vacuum, and what it does is it sucked all of those comets towards itself.
Mm.
So Jupiter is so big, it could have been its own sun,
Wow.
right? But nobody says, well, thank God for Jupiter.
Mhm.
Nobody says, thank God for my cellmate. Like, okay, your cellmate's there by design. Like, a lot of people think that well, I'm just wasting my time being with you. Are you? Or what are you learning about yourself? Now we talk about the same thing that you just said. Relationship is a mirror. What am I learning about myself? So I think in my perspective is that and my grandfather always told me this, man. God rest his soul. He was like, man, you can make it out here with any one of these motherfuckers. It's all about what you want to put up with.
Right.
What are you willing to do to make your relationship successful? To
Mhm.
make to choose happiness.
Right.
And that's what that's about. Gail, what you got, brother?
I mean, I'm really on there with along the lines of what Shane was saying. You know what I mean? That cellmate soulmate thing. I think that it's more average for people than what they would think it is. You know what I mean? You talking about it's like real talk. Like right now, me and Kim talk about this all the time. Would any of y'all want to be dating right now?
I hear a lot of people say that the dating pool is fucked up.
The way people are thinking in terms of what the other should be doing for them and all that stuff, and what the criterias are, things like that. Like, I would not want to be dating right now, bro. Like, I really wouldn't want. Like, I'd real talk. Like, me and Kim joked about this, and we talked about this. Like, Shem, I'd invest in one of them big ass dolls, man. Like,
A flashlight.
hey, like it's terrible out here. Like when you hit like I seen this one joke, the chick was like, the only way if her nigga don't got a gun, she won't date him. Cause she in her eyes, if a man don't got a gun, then he already can't protect me. And she was like, well, what if the ops is after me and all that? And dude commented on the journal was like, ops, like the average person don't have ops. What are you doing? And who is after you? You basic. Like why I gotta put my life on the line for you to decide to be with me and you ain't even all that? Like, nah, that's crazy. Like the I don't know, like the whole, what people use as a criteria. It ain't no more. They got to be tall, dark, and handsome, or short, thick. That's gone. Like the criteria now was wild. And then, you know, all these chicks thinking they got to be making six figures for them to go out. Or chicks, don't, you got to have your own business. That is not the average thing to do. And y'all letting this social media thing glam this stuff out so much that you think that it's supposed to be like that. You say, oh I can't date no guy that's 9 to 5 because I want, like, if I want to decide to just take a trip, we should be able to do that. He shouldn't have to worry about taking a day off or asking anybody for permission to go or whatever. Well, sweetheart, even if I got my own business and I don't have to answer to nobody, I gotta answer to my business.
Yeah.
I can't take my business might not allow me to take a vacation right now. I might got some deals that I gotta close out, or I got paperwork I gotta look into. Things got to be done. So don't think just because I own my own business that I still can just up and move whenever I want to move. It don't work like that. Now, when the company gets to a certain position, then I can probably move like that because that means the people are in the right place. But until then, so what I'm saying is social media, Shawty, you missing the points. Like, I get what you're saying, and I understand when you got people that say they wouldn't date somebody with a 9 to 5. But for me to say that, that means that I have to be in a position where I don't need a 9 to 5 either. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's got to be, if I'm an entrepreneur, I've been doing this thing for a long time. You want to date, like, that's like Holly Berry not gonna go date the trash man, probably. I mean, that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? She might not date a trash man because he ain't gonna be able to move how she can move and all that kind of stuff. Hell, even with Megan Good and what's it? They decided to, their schedules was just too conflicting, and they had a mutual agreement that they would better be from what they've put out there in the world. What they said, they had this mutual thing where they knew that, like, the marriage wasn't going to last because their schedules and their time away and everything was just too conflicting, and it just wasn't working out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that type of stuff. These are two superstars in their own right, in their own field, pretty much in the same type of thing, and it wasn't even really working out for them, and they had to separate. They had to go ahead and part ways. So just thinking about that, like, everybody ain't even still the situation is going to be different. I mean, it comes back to, you got people that's just being comfortable. I think it could have been a soulmate and then it changed into a cellmate. I think a cellmate can change into a soulmate. It's over time and things like that. It's just a matter of, where you are in your relationship, y'all perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? Old dude that's mad all the time and he come home, it's the same thing. The only reason why he ain't really left her is because it's still a level of comfort there. Like, it's easy. I ain't gotta go talk to nobody else. It's here. She might give me some. She might not. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had my drink. Or he might even be past the point where he ain't even tripping off getting none. He got a place to lay. He know the house taken care of or whatever. And just keep it moving. But at that point, it's a cellmate. I don't ever want to feel like I'm a prisoner. When you feel like you're a prisoner to your own, now you're talking cellmate.
So I now also think that that's just
it's crazy. Like Miguel said, like, social media really got people gassed up.
Right.
Like, you talking about, and I think I seen a clip where the chick was like, I can't date no man 9 to 5, blah blah. See, you've been watching all of these entrepreneurs on IG and all this and that. Like, what do those qualities have to do with actually someone loving you?
Relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because he got 6 figures, but he's an asshole or
Mhm.
he's beating you. So all of these, superficial boxes that you were looking for
Mhm.
had nothing to do with what you needed to, to actually flourish as a person.
Mhm.
You looked at all the, it's crazy how now relationships are so transactional,
Oh man.
versus like, and that's one of the things I learned. Like, I don't, that's not how I love. If I love you, if I'm in love with you, it's not, I don't own you. You're not my possession. You're not something that I own. I'm experiencing you.
Mhm.
So during this time, my time is, to love, protect you, to see the best out of you, see where you need to grow, see where I need to grow. How can I be in the best position to speak to the queen in you, to say, all right, well, you got this talent, why don't you do this? Or why, to help you out,
Mhm.
versus what can I get from you?
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. What
Like,
are you not providing?
yeah, like
Yeah.
the best version that you can get from someone is the version of them where you give the most to them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Versus waiting for a transaction, waiting for a withdrawal and deposit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, social media has these, has these people looking for people. One, that they're not even.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You looking for a 6-figure person or somebody that can do this and do that. Are you that person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need to stop asking people to do stuff, for us that we can't even do ourselves. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now, granted, the person that you get with, you're gonna balance each other out.
Mhm.
In a marriage, as you know, Frank, whatever you're good at, Toya may not be good at.
Mhm.
Toya may be good at something, and you balance it and you find those things and you work it out to say, all right, you're better at managing the money. I'm better at doing this, and it's cool. But you don't throw your strengths or weaknesses in each other's face. You just work through that as, you know, as a good team should,
Mhm.
but just going into it saying that I don't want to, why not go into it looking for someone character?
Yeah.
I don't want to fall in love with someone who's selfish. I don't want to, all these things that have to do with facilitating love, but we looking for stuff that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then wonder why things don't work.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people will be surprised by the couples that they think that are a team. They really aren't. And,
Mhm.
it's just that one person was able to accomplish this, the other person was able to accomplish that, and they accumulated a lot of things. But actually working together, you'll be surprised that they don't work together as much as they possibly should.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's the thing to do in relationship. Relationship is not about achieving this and achieving that and accumulating these things. I think it's more about truly loving each other unconditionally to the point where you're able to put your egos and differences aside so that you can work together if need be.
Mhm.
I just think that we the transactional thing is really heavy now.
Yeah.
That relationships are really full of what have you done for me lately is a
Mhm.
really big thing going on right now
Yeah,
in relationships.
relationships are banks now.
Oh yeah.
You withdraw, you depositing,
Mhm.
you got, overdrafts, you
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
IRAs, you got,
Yeah.
it's all about what can someone else do for me.
Yeah.
And that's how we come into relationships. One, unhealed, to now this person has to take on the burden of all your triggers because you didn't put in the work yourself. You just made yourself look presentable on the outside, but you didn't do the work to make yourself available emotionally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't put in the work to now, you're healed from your past. So you're not taking, that baggage into the relationship. You're only going in with luggage. You know, we look for what someone else can do for us.
Mhm.
But it's like right now in relationships, accountability is totally,
Off the table.
yeah.
Is off the table. Go ahead, Miguel.
Oh, I mean that's it. Like you said, it's all what you can and what you can't do for me. And I don't even know how. Honestly, I don't even know because this. Hey, look, my little man was Anthony, the oldest. He was out. He had his little girlfriend, and she was asking him for money, and my man was just cash apping away. Okay, And you know, wifey seen the little transactions. It's like $3 here, $5 there, $2 there. You know what I'm saying? So not looking into it, she thought it was me sending Layla money, like, you know, because you know she might want out of, you know, Alicot from their school or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And and she finally brought up. I said, "Nah, it wasn't me. I ain't sent Layla nothing." You know what I'm saying? Like, and when she looked into it, you know, it's the little girl name attached to the jump, so she seen what it was, and the thing was, Anthony, he had money in his Cash App, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have it comes because he's not old enough to have a card. The money still comes out of our account. So even though he's sending her money, it's sending this little bro my money, not the money that's in his account. So of course, once wife caught on to what was going on, she did the calculations. She took all his money about his account because that's what he owed us, and he was in debt. He still owed us about $2 or $3, right?
Honey,
So
button it up.
I had to have a conversation with him about, you know, if why does she need that money? Like, what did she tell you for? One time he was like, for food. Well, I was like, well, what food? I said, because you ain't never asked us for no extra money to eat anything at school. Y'all eating the same lunch. So what is it with y'all? Ain't got no vending machines y'all going to. So what's the food? What she? He's like, I don't know. Another time he said that the girl mother was supposed to give her some money and she did. I said, so son, in my world, you called a trick.
Yeah.
You a sucker. You a John. You know what I'm saying? And not without breaking all that down, she got you for your paper. I said, do you have a job? He was like, no. I said, so you don't have no way to replenish your money, right? He was like, no. I said, that's called being asked out.
Yeah.
You have nothing. She got you for all your paper. And then he tells me that they not even together no more. I was like, oh, she wiped you dry and then left you. I was like, what's she doing there? She left him for his best good man. I was like,
starting early, boy. She's starting early.
She was looking for a toothpick.
First of all, that's not your man. If your man went ahead and said, yeah, that's an unspoken rule, man. You don't do that. That's not lying across. Like before one of my boys talked to something that I was talking to, we have had a conversation to give that green light or not. If not, like, that is a no-fly zone. You don't do that. That's that line, right? So we just talking about the whole exchanging of money, and if a girl doesn't want to be with you because of who you are and the type of person you are, you know, you fun and you're funny and you got good conversation, things like that, you good character, and all she want from you is what she can get from you. The minute you don't have it anymore, she gonna leave you. And what your girl do?
Leave you.
She left. I said, and you about to go to high school, so you have to know how to deal with this stuff because you gonna. I said, man, you a handsome little dude. I said, now he growing his hair out. He got the dreads. He got a little look to him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and me and your mama gonna make sure you at least kind of got a little swag while you in school. You know what I'm saying? So you might even be able to pull an 8th grader while you in the 6th grade. I said, and if she think you a sucker, she gonna take you for your money. I said, there's 2 things you don't give away in this world, son: your time and your money.
Your resources, yeah.
They come at a heavy cost. Don't do it. And so, you know, it was funny. He came in here like the next day was like that. You know what the gold digger did? I started laughing. I was like, what she do, son? He said, she dumped my man too. I was like, well, what's she doing now? Then she got a girlfriend. I was like, oh my God. I was like, boy, this wild, man. Y'all little elementary school kids off the chain. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I had to have that conversation early about him. You know what I'm saying? That was a conversation I had to have with him now, understanding that people will only want you for your resources and what you can give them. And then that once that's gone, they'll leave you. And that's the sad part about the relationship. And because of that, what's taking a toll? Marriages are hit hard. The value of marriage is brought down way low because now you got all of these stupid ideals being put on to what marriage is, and you like, oh no, I ain't doing that. Or even if we do decide to get married, what can you know, what is it that you bring into the table? What you got? This is what I got. What you got? You know what I mean? What can you do? All right, because real talk, a real man out here doing what he doing. Females get this messed up. They was like, well, I could cook, I can clean, I give them some every day. First of all, you full of shit because you're not. So it's like, that's not stuff that I'm not worried about that, and I'm not thinking about none of that type of stuff. That's not what I mean. Can when I've had a long day, can you help me with my peace of mind?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When I need to confide in you, can I confide in you with the confidence knowing that one day you're not gonna get pissed off and do what some women do and use that against me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I show you my vulnerability, are you gonna use that to cripple me or you gonna use that to aid me? You see what I'm saying? So it's just this is it's that type of stuff, man. You this whole cellmate, soulmate thing, it's definitely a heavy topic. So you know what I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. You know me, I always got you know, I'm the king of foolishness. Before we roll, you know, I often give you things to think about, whether it's, you know, where do albinos go? Where are the baby pigeons? What I want you to ask yourself, because you know, we celebrate, you know, Black History Month, February, and all that. Why don't we celebrate the midget slaves? You know, because
First, they little people, man. Not midget. You're gonna get us in trouble, man. They little people, man. They don't like midget. Don't.
so,
It just got on me. I said that on our podcast. I said the midget thing. She like how that, man.
but why I because of course, you know, any, you know, regular size person, you know, we all have our heroes. And I was like, you know what? Where are the little people slaves? You know, there was probably a little people Harriet Tubman. There was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, little people just didn't come out the last 30 or so years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about that in the history books. The little people slave.
Where are they? Where did they go?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they were sold, you know, half price. You know, we throwing this mandingo, we throwing this, you know, dango, you know, they, you know, so, you know, just think about that. What happened to the midget slaves?
Hey, we had to get some of that in there, man.
Still said it again. He still said midget slave.
What I will say is this. I will say that being equally yoked does not mean that we think everything together. That's just mean you being closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have to have the same thought process, the same opinion on everything that is not being equally yoked. And I believe that concept and that thought process is a cellmate. Y'all are now listening to the Root Cause podcast, where we like to have the hard conversations, and we barely touched this one, man. This one we can really dive deep into. Fellas, I appreciate you. Let's revisit our promo, man. I want to go ahead and shout out POP, Pivotal Operational Practices. This is a very, very important thing I think that each business should have, is someone in your back office, an assistant, or someone to push your business up to the next level. Go ahead and give them a shout out. Pivotal Operational Practices.
Yeah, I'm a client. I'm a client. Man. So hey, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shout out Miss Toy. She been getting me right.
Definitely check out Calculated with Love. The books are still out there. You can go to calculatedwithlove.com. Like I said, I will be speaking in the University of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, September the 14th of this year. Marriage Moments, man. Marriage Moments comes out. Is it every week, Miguel?
Every Friday, Marriage Moments will be in y'all. You get the notifications at 12 a.m. on the dot. If not, by chance, we will let y'all know accordingly. But every Friday, 12 a.m. And let me tell y'all, this week coming up, I got sauce for y'all this week. I took over Marriage Moments this week, did a little guys down. I ain't hold nothing back. I brought a couple of guys on. And we got some good stuff on there, man. Like, you gotta listen, you gotta tune in this week and listen to this thing. So,
hey, another one we have Hustle and Motivate. Hustle and Motivate is on its way. Hustle and Motivate, the conference, going to be in Cancun this year, hosted by DJ Shane, the great DJ Shane. Check him out. Anything else, fellas? Other than LT beat the hell out of our kids, and
put that work on them yesterday, Slim.
Man, I went out and I worked out, and I said, man, I ain't gonna go in because I'm a little musky. But man, when I got in there, the room was foggy as hell, and it
was condensation on the floor. He worked them out, Joe.
and they got 2 Asian kids in there, right? And I knew that it was really hot because you know their head go forward and the sweat was on the little beads of their head.
Man.
LT, man, I put Trey in the car, man. He said, "What a day."
Yeah.
He went home. He went home and said, Sensei LT really is a tough guy. Really is a tough guy. I said, nah.
Tim ran. He had the whole class. He had all of the classes this weekend. Like none of the other Shifus and Senseis was there. He ran everything on his own. So you know, Tim bring a whole different energy, and Tim is a different kind of teacher, man. So he put them to work. So it was good, man.
Yeah, I just had to tell Trey, look, man, don't be chopping your sister around the house, man. He chopped the shit out of her one time off some shit Daddy learned, man. I said, hey, no, we can't do that. I had to teach Channel when he's demonstrating, you got to go with it, baby, and learn how to tap.
Yeah.
You got to tap out because otherwise you will break your wrist or break something else, man. But fellas, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate you listeners. Y'all checking into us every other Sunday, and on Tuesdays the audibles will be up on Buzzsprout and all podcast platforms. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We out.
Yep.